Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Government House. My name is Hugh Borroman. I have the honour to be Official Secretary to Her Excellency the Governor, and I will be Master of Ceremonies this afternoon. On behalf of Her Excellency, the Honourable Francis Adamson, AC, Governor of South Australia, and Mr Rod Bunton, it's my great pleasure to welcome you to Government House on what has fortunately turned out to be a very lovely afternoon for the presentation of the 2022 Governor's Multicultural Awards. As we start, a few practical arrangements, please. If you could please ensure your mobile phones are turned to silent. We do have an official photographer. You're welcome to take your own photos, but please, if you could refrain from using flash and remain in your seats while you do so. If anybody, for any reason, doesn't want to have their photo appear on our social media or published, could you please let one of the staff know so that we don't inadvertently include you. The finalists have all received a link for live streaming so that can be used after the event as well. We do ask that you not live stream during the event, please. The toilet facilities are located behind the catering marquee over that way, and in the unlikely event that we should need to evacuate, there are two emergency exits, one the gate you came through and another one down on Kintor Avenue reached by going that way. If you are able, can I ask you now please to be upstanding for the arrival of the official party and the playing of the Vice-Regal Salute. I suspect most of you are familiar with the Vice-Regal Salute. It's the first and last 4 bars of the Australian National Anthem, but it's not the National Anthem, so don't sing or you'll run out of music very quickly. The official party is led by Her Excellency, the Honourable Francis Adamson, AC, Governor of South Australia, and Mr Rod Bunton, and includes the Honourable Zoe Bettison, MP, Minister for Multicultural Affairs, representing the Premier, Dr James Mookie, AM, Lieutenant Governor of South Australia, the Honourable Chief Justice Chris Kourakis, Supreme Court of South Australia, the Honourable David Spears, MP, Leader of the Opposition, the Honourable Jing Lee, MLC, Shadow Minister for Multicultural South Australia, Commander Emma MacDonald-Kerr, ADC RAN, Commanding Officer, HMAS Encounter, Royal Australian Navy, Colonel Timothy Orders, Deputy Commander 9th Brigade, representing the Commander and Army Area Representative South Australia, and Assistant Commissioner Stuart McLean, representing the Commissioner of Police. Please be seated. In addition to members of the official party, I should like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the presence of other dignitaries who are with us today. Madam He Lanjing, Consul General of the People's Republic of China and members of the South Australian Consular Corps, Chief Executives and Executives from federal and state government departments, members of the South Australian Multicultural Commission, members of the Governor's Multicultural Awards judging panel, our very special winners and finalists of today's awards. Welcome all. It's now my great pleasure to invite Uncle Mugi Sama, AM, Ghana and Ngarrindjeri Elder to the stage to share a welcome to country.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Before we start, I'd like to invite our ancestors here to be with us. My ancestors, your ancestors, wherever you come from. Invite them here to come and sit down next to you, to be a part of this ceremony, to look after you, but also to walk with you when you walk across this country. Walkindi Rikai Falka. Ngari yeri pakanamutano, ngari yeri pangari, lewan gana rui. Ngari yeri pakanamutano, ngari yeri pangari, lewan gana rui. Ngari yeri pakanamutano, ngari yeri pangari, lewan gana rui. Ngari yeri pakanamutano, ngari yeri pangari, lewan gana rui. Ngari ngoli andu, 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 ngari ngoli andu. Ngari ngoli andu, ngari ngoli andu. Ngari ngoli andu. Ngari pakanamutano koranuarangi pangari ngopan. Ngari pakanamutano koranuarangi pangari ngopan. Ngari pakanamutano koranuarangi pangari ngopan. What I said in my language, I asked the ancestors from the 4 directions to come here and sit down in the land of the Ghana people, the land of my mother. The song was to welcome you and your ancestors here to this land. The words at the end, and that's asking the ancestors to take away any negative energy that attaches itself to us as we walk across the land, so that you have a good time here tonight. You enjoy each other's company, but you look after each other too. On behalf of my mother's people, I welcome you and your ancestors here to the land of the Ghana. And thank you all for coming. Thank you.
Thank you, Uncle Mugi, for that very generous welcome. It's now my very great pleasure to invite Her Excellency, the Honourable Frances Adamson AC, Governor of South Australia, to deliver her welcome address. The Governor.
Uncle Mugi Alia, Ghana Bogana Alia, Ghana Miana Alia, Yaichi Miana Alia, Kumatana Yartananku. Yatu na Tampandi, Ghana Miana, Yaichi Yata Matina, Bukinanko, Yalaka, Takaricha. Dearest Uncle Mugi, Ghana elders, Ghana people, Aboriginal people from other lands and regions, I acknowledge you and pay my respects to all of you. I also acknowledge that the land we're meeting on is Ghana land, has been in the past, today, and into the future. Now, my official secretary did a very good job of acknowledging people individually, but for the broader audience, as I welcome you, I want to acknowledge that we have here today members of the executive, the legislature, the judiciary, the armed forces, community leaders, leaders of multicultural organisations, of course, are community leaders. We've got finalists, nominees, friends, winners amongst you, of course, as well too. But you are all here in a very busy week for South Australia because these awards matter, because multiculturalism matters in our state. And that's the reason Rod and I are particularly delighted to welcome you all to Government House for the 2022 in 2023 Governor's Multicultural Awards. These awards are one of the ways that our society can affirm our commitment to bridging cultures and demonstrate that we are proudly multicultural. The awards are also an opportunity, of course, to champion those special people who make a heartfelt and lasting contribution to our wonderful state. As a community, Uncle Mugi, we walk together on ancient lands in the footsteps of an ancient culture. We are a society that has evolved over time with many faces and many voices from many lands, shaping who we are and providing the essential character of our state. While our story is multifaceted, its elements are increasingly bound together through greater cultural understanding and indeed intercultural understanding, and greater respect for each other's values and viewpoints. And that is the hallmark of the commitment displayed by the finalists and winners we will honour today. And I simply make the point, Rod and I very much want Government House and our gardens to be a house and gardens for all South Australians. And just in the course of this week, we've welcomed South Australia's Indigenous women for their first ever Fire Sticks conference. We've welcomed women for a wonderful International Women's Day celebration in this very marquee, although it looked rather different yesterday. And today, of course, we welcome you. And we don't do this individually, we do it in a very connected way, because the diversity represented by those groups, as well as by older South Australians, by South Australians with a disability, by South Australians, whatever their sexual orientation may be. That diversity is a huge strength. It's an asset for our state as we deal with the many challenges that face the world, quite a number of which actually South Australia is well placed at least to help to solve, if not to solve entirely. Rod and I have had the privilege of meeting community members and organisations across the state who are working energetically, often very energetically actually, on behalf of multicultural communities. We've been struck by the extraordinary efforts of volunteers in multicultural organisations, not only to nurture a love of language and culture, but to share that culture with others. Their willingness to actively contribute to South Australia, whether they're leading the way for others, overcoming barriers and building trust or contributing expertise, is to be applauded. We also applaud the efforts of many groups in keeping communities together and informed during the COVID-19 pandemic, and now during the recovery process, running the first events after long periods of downtime and cancellations. Throughout the year, Rod and I enjoy immersing ourselves in the cultural diversity of our festivals, and we've been kept very busy of late and have had the opportunity to see a number of you perform and a number of communities contribute wonderful events to the Fringe Festival, the festival itself, and of course to AusAsia and all of the other festivals during the course of the year. Through arts, we can be exposed to that which unites us across cultures, and we can also explore future possibilities. These are at the heart of multiculturalism, and long may we contribute to the realisation of those aspirations. I thank everyone who's contributed to making the Governor's Multicultural Awards a success, in particular to the Judging Committee for your diligence, and the Chair, His Honour Judge Ralph Sulio, for his stewardship. I thank everyone who nominated a person or group deserving of recognition. I know many people who are the shining lights in our communities are often modest about their contributions and don't seek the limelight. They just get on with the job, do it well, and don't seek accolades. But the Governor's Multicultural Awards is our way of saying thank you to those whose passion, dedication, and community spirit make South Australia such a vibrant and caring place. To all the finalists and our 9 winners and 2 highly commended finalists, thank you for all that you have achieved and likely, well, I'm pretty sure of this actually, will continue to achieve. South Australia is a better place because of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. It's now my great pleasure to introduce to you this afternoon's performance by Volya Ukrainian Cossack dancers. This energetic group of dancers represent the Association of Ukrainians in South Australia, and over the past year, Volya has performed at many events to fundraise for humanitarian aid to Ukraine in its heroic struggle. They're a small and hard-working team dedicated to sharing Ukrainian cultural traditions, and they've been performing for over 18 years at concerts and events, proudly bringing the Cossack spirit to audiences around Australia. Volya's performance today showcases an arrangement of different Ukrainian dances. Please enjoy. Thank you very much, Volja. We now arrive at the part of the ceremony for the presentation of the Governor's Multicultural Awards. In starting, can I please echo Her Excellency and thank the independent judging panel led by the Chair, His Honour Judge Ralph Sulio AM, for again reviewing the number of nominations with such care and dedication. Thank you all to the panel. For these awards, there are a commendable 84 nominations across the 9 award categories, and today we are recognising 21 outstanding finalists on stage. For each category, I will first announce the finalists, who will individually make their way on stage, accept their certificate from Her Excellency, have their photographs taken, and then move to the rear of the stage. After all the finalists have been recognised, I will then announce the winner, who will come forward to receive a trophy from Her Excellency. And I ask all the finalists to please remain on stage while I read the winner's citation. Your Excellency, it's my pleasure now to invite you to come to the stage to present the 2022 Governor's Multicultural Awards. The first category for this afternoon's presentation is Arts and Culture. And the finalists for this category are first, Nexus Arts, represented by Ms. Emily Tulloch. The next finalist is Mr. Elias Alavi. He is unable to join us today and will be represented on stage by Mr. Fahim Hashimi. And our third finalist is AusAsia Festival's Moon Lantern Trail team, represented by Ms. June Kwok. And the winner for the Arts and Culture Award is Mr. Elias Alavi. As I have mentioned, Elias could not be here today, but his friend and another one of our finalists, Fahim, will accept the award on his behalf. Fleeing his homeland of Afghanistan to start a new life in Australia in 2007, Elias established a national reputation for great storytelling about human possibility. He has collaborated with a diverse range of art and cultural groups across Australia, and his poetry, art practice, and curatorial advocacy enables audiences to engage with universal themes of memory, loss, and grief. Elias is the art director of Arta Cultural Centre and a valued member of the Nexus Arts Advisory Committee, where he continues to influence contemporary intercultural arts practices. Please join me once more in thanking all the finalists and congratulating Mr. Elias Alavi as the winner. That way. Our next award is the Community Sector category. Please welcome our finalists to the stage. Firstly, the Royal Life-Saving Society of South Australia's Multicultural Program swimming instructors, represented by Ms. Jane Minear. Our next finalist is Dr. Mehmet Aslan. And the third finalist, Sonda, represented by Ms. Tanya Mansa. I'm delighted to announce that the highly commended finalist, we have both a highly commended finalist and a winner, and the highly commended finalist is Sonda, represented by Tanya Mansa. Against a backdrop of 22% of migrants remaining unemployed 10 years after arrival, Sonda was highly commended by the judges for supporting migrants and refugees to overcome barriers to employment through culturally appropriate employment support. Zonda's skilled team offers guidance and mental health support along the entire journey towards employment, including job searching, writing resumes, and preparing for interviews. Well done to the team at Sonda for their wonderful work. I now have pleasure in announcing the winner of the Community Sector Award, which is to the Royal Lifesaving Society of South Australia's Multicultural Program Swimming Instructors. The Royal Lifesaving Society of South Australia is applauded for developing a multicultural program for culturally and linguistically diverse communities who are at a higher risk of drowning. The inaugural 8-week course in 2021 provided free water safety lessons for more than 50 participants. The tailored water safety strategies used clear messaging that was both culturally sensitive and educational. Congratulations to the Royal Lifesaving Society Multicultural Program swimming instructors and to all community sector finalists. The next award category is media. Please welcome our finalists to the stage. First, Mr. Fahim Hashimi. The next finalist is ABC Radio Adelaide Afternoon Show production team, represented by Ms. Regan Footner. And our third finalist in the media category is Cocktail Revolution, represented by Mrs. Stacey Polaris. The media category also has both a highly commended finalist and a winner, and I'm delighted to announce that our last finalist, Cocktail Revolution, has been recognised by the judging panel as the highly commended finalist. Cocktail Revolution is Australia's only natural street-style digital magazine, created by Stacey in 2012 in response to a lack of diversity in the mainstream media. Focused on fashion, Cocktail Revolution has fostered inclusion by presenting images of diverse and stylish young people photographed in city streets going about their daily lives, and has even helped launch international modelling careers. Congratulations to Cocktail Revolution on your high commendation. And the winner of the media category is ABC Radio Adelaide's Afternoon Show production team, represented by its producer, Ms. Regan Footner. ABC Radio Adelaide's Afternoon Show production team has demonstrated excellence in producing work spanning dozens of interviews and a commitment to showcasing culturally and linguistically diverse voices. With topics ranging from sport participation rates, COVID vaccinations, menopause, the Indigenous voice to Parliament, multicultural quiet achievers, and individual refugee stories, the afternoon programme's production team has made a concerted effort to go beyond the easy and obvious, consistently producing thought-provoking journalism that sheds light on issues often missed by mainstream media. Congratulations to the winner and to all the finalists. We now come to the private sector category, and I welcome our finalists to the stage. First is Ms. Madiha Usman. Our second finalist is Allegiant, represented by Mr. Jonathan Day. And our third finalist is Mr. Hanif Rahimi. And the winner of the Private Sector Award is Ms. Madiha Usman. Madiha won the judges' praise for her concerted efforts to transform disability support for migrant communities. She entered the disability sector in 2019 after experiencing firsthand the challenges of finding a provider of suitable care for her now 3-year-old daughter. She has since opened 25 specialised disability houses in South Australia, each delivering exceptional 24/7 support. Once again, congratulations to Madiha and a heartfelt thanks to our other finalists. We now turn to the public sector category and welcome first to the stage our first finalist, TAFE SA, represented by Mr. David Coltman. Our second finalist is Mr. Paul Herbert. And our third finalist, Merv Yazalu. And I'm delighted to announce the winner of the Public Sector Award is Merv Yazalu. In extending the focus of his anti-terrorism remit to community engagement and relationship building, Detective Sergeant Yazalu is setting an example of the best of prevention. Clearly valued by the community, Merv has displayed empathy and worked hard over 15 years to build trust with diverse communities from countries where there may have been negative experiences with police. This is especially evident in his work with children and youth, for which he is particularly commended. Congratulations once more to Merv and the other finalists. We now come to the Volunteer Award. And in this category, the finalists are, first, Mr. John Thurlow. Our next finalist is Mr. Hassan Hashmi. And our third finalist, Ms. Lubna Hamad. And the winner of the Volunteer Award is Mr. John Thurlow. For more than 15 years, John has tirelessly supported the integration of multicultural youth into South Australia's southeast community through his voluntary work with the Naracoorte United Soccer Club as a coach and committee member. He recently initiated girls' and women's soccer teams for migrant women who culturally aren't permitted to play with boys and men. And he's helped the soccer club grow with more than 70% of players currently from culturally diverse backgrounds, making it a social hub for families and a safe, accepting place for migrant women. Congratulations to John and the other two finalists. We now move to the Senior Volunteer Award, and it is my pleasure to jump straight in and announce that the winner for this category is Dr. Devendra Kalshestra. Dr. Kalshestra has been an enthusiastic advocate of multiculturalism for more than 40 years. A scientist and mathematician by profession, he is equally passionate about the arts and has helped introduce Australian communities to the cultures of India, Bangladesh and Pakistan through broadcast, poetry and song. Devendra has been active in Indian community radio for decades, producing programs in 7 official Indian languages, a worthy recipient of our Senior Volunteer Award. Dr. Devendra Kulshrestha. We've now arrived at the youth category, and once again we can announce straight away that the winner of the youth category is Mr. Akim Mulumba. Forced from Congo by war and persecution following the loss of his parents, Akim arrived as a humanitarian entrant, determined to make a life for himself in order to help others. As a cultural ambassador for his community and the Australian Migrant Resource Centre, Akim promotes community harmony and intercultural understanding across South Australia at various multicultural events such as SA Refugee Week and youth forums. His strong and engaging leadership resulted in his recent re-election as President of the Congolese Youth of South Australia. Akim Mulumba. This brings us to the final category in the 2022 Governor's Multicultural Awards, the prestigious Outstanding Individual Achievement Award. This award recognises an outstanding individual who has distinguished themselves by advancing and promoting multiculturalism, social cohesion and intercultural understanding in South Australia for at least 10 years. The winner of this year's award for Outstanding Individual Achievement is Mr. Vladimir Kachuk, affectionately known as Wally. Since arriving in Australia from Ukraine after the Second World War in 1949, Wally wasted no time in becoming an active contributor to his new home. In the first 2 years alone, he joined the Ukraine choir and became part of the Ukrainian Orthodox community, helping to purchase land and build St. Michael's Church at Croydon, eventually becoming its chair and later administrator for the Australian Orthodox Kiev Patriarchy. He then helped to establish the USC Lions Soccer Club and has served more than 25 years as a committee member, chair and secretary. For his steadfast service to the Ukrainian community of South Australia, sport and broadcasting, please congratulate Wally Kachuk. Thank you, Your Excellency. That concludes the presentation of the awards. Please join me in a final congratulations to all our incredible finalists and winners. This brings us to the end of today's official proceedings, but before we close, it's my pleasure to introduce the performers who will play for you during refreshments afterwards. Woodville High School has a terrific music program. Its Special Interest Music Centre is just one of 4 in South Australia, and its saxophone quintet is one of the school's 16 ensembles. Made up of 5 talented students from years 10 to 12, the saxophone quintet performs extensively throughout the school year for many school, community and Department of Education functions. They will be conducted by the music coordinator, Mr. Terry Bickley. Just before we conclude, could I please invite the award winners to immediately make their way to the official photo location for the winner's photograph with Her Excellency. We do ask guests and family to please let them go and take the official photograph first, and we promise to allow plenty of time afterwards for as many personal photographs as you want. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your attendance today. That concludes the presentation of the 2022 Governor's Multicultural Awards.